My view, looking forward, I think the state energy plan is about to be released. I'm looking forward to seeing it. But I'm already kind of looking down the road from that. What do we do? Okay, state energy plan's there. Great. All right, what's next? My view is we should take these core components out that have been identified as the greatest opportunities for Nebraska and put some dates on them. Put some benchmarks on them. Okay, and let's get some commitment out there. Let's get some buy-in. This is a logical procession of policy development, which has already been embraced by most states in the union. Though 35 or so states already have this Renewable Portfolio Standard, or RPS, as it's often called. The RPS could convert targeted, high-value portions of the energy plan into an action plan, but then, more importantly, it provides the context and rationale for legislation to foster development to reach these goals. Okay, what we have in the legislature is, individual efforts that come forth from senators, through citizens, or themselves, or whoever. Okay, but there's no backdrop. These are individual efforts, and senators are challenged to, especially now at a time of very tight funding availability, there's no priorities. The senators are kind of at a disadvantage of what to prioritize and put money into, because they really don't have a clear statement themselves of what the highest value opportunities are. I think it's important that the legislature be very involved in the state energy plan. I was pleased to hear that Neil is looking at this being a living document. Technology and the economy and lots of things are moving very quickly now, and some of these things, including Middle East supply availability, can change on a dime. So it's good that is viewed as a living document. But I believe the legislature should be involved in this review and approve this review, and have the legislature itself, as a representative of the citizens of Nebraska, should have buy-in to this plan. And buy-in kind of gives the plan back, as it were, or gives it support, and makes it not just a document that outlines through research and all the work that Dave does and all these guys do, putting that information out. This has now become a statement of, this is policy in Nebraska, this is what we're going to do. The progression of these energy plan components into an RPS is in the best interest of both current and future Nebraskans. And it's important that we do this in a very methodical manner, not recklessly charging into things. And I know that's never going to happen in Nebraska anyway. But we need to start turning the ship. Okay, you cannot turn the Titanic on a dime. They tried. Okay, but you need to start altering that course incrementally, so we have something to show for ourselves in 5, 10, 20 years. Reducing energy reliance. Every coal train that we take off, the tracks opens up room for another leaving here with ethanol. Okay, every coal train that leaves out of here goes out with our capital, paving streets in Wyoming, while our own rural communities are in shambles. So I think the motivation to do these things is clear. I do very much applaud the efforts of Neil Mosman and Dave Dingman for taking this on. This is a big project at a critical time in our state's history, and I feel very confident that we have the right men on the job. I believe this carve-out from the state energy plan into a renewable portfolio standard should be presented to the legislature, would approve it, support it, implement it, intent, and review it annually. We see some of this right now in the Natural Resource Committee. There's like 30 renewable energy bills in committee right now. There's 30 days left in the session. How many of those do you think we'll actually see come out of there? Very few. And I can't hardly blame Senator Langmeyer and that committee, because they all come in, they can't come out. There's a huge logjam in Natural Resource Committee getting stuff through there. And I can hardly blame the senators, because what is the state policy? What is the hot tickets that we need to get moving? And that we need to get a process that outlines that buy-in. RPS is important because voluntary goals are not benchmarks. Voluntary goals is not a replacement for a renewable portfolio standard. I have a 15-year-old daughter, so I thought of this analogy. That's like a voluntary goal is kind of like, if you're able, could you maybe try and come home by 10 o'clock? And if you don't, there's no repercussions. Okay? I'm an old Army sergeant, and Neil's from the Navy. We still get along. But I'm an old Army sergeant, so I'm more of 10 o'clock where it's, you know. So that's the difference between voluntary goals and an RPS. And I think the citizens of Nebraska have clearly outlined that it's time for action, and I think the legislature, as their representatives in the unicameral, need to commit to that. Critical technologies that hold great promise for Nebraska must be developed, and Nebraskans need to know that accountability for the level of progress determined by the representatives will be implemented in a timely manner. We are behind in the third quarter, and we need an action plan to win the game. Alone, the state energy plan will not carry the day. It is an important first step, but I think we've been, like my old Italian Uncle Chudgy used to tell me, don't get caught moping, okay? I think we've been caught moping, and we've taken some great steps forward here. I'm very pleased to be a part of it. But being kind of the kind of person I am, which often gets me in trouble, I'm already looking forward to the next 2, 3rd, and 4th steps from that. And I think we should be prepared to do that. We do not have time to have huge gaps between our steps. We need to pick up the pace. Two quick things I'll mention here. The Advanced Renewable Energy Grant that's come out of the Energy Office is going to be released soon. That's a great program. We're going to see some advanced technologies be deployed and supported in the state as a result of funding through the Nebraska Energy Office, and we're going to see some great demonstration projects and implementation. When anybody who has livestock knows that once you get that first one through the fence, the other ones will come, and so it's going to be great to see these kinds of demonstration projects. Again, I think in this day and age, with an economy where it is, and with the outlook uncertain, jobs are a key factor. And this is one statistic I kind of arrived at on a cocktail napkin one day, and I've really been beaten on it because it's so important. Decentralized, small-scale renewable energy offers 30 to 50 times the job per watt as big commercial wind. We hear a lot about the opportunity, and it is a big opportunity. It's big numbers, big stuff. But there's a great opportunity with big wind. One job for every 10 megawatt. Okay, and I see Michael Shanka, another starving green energy business owner in Nebraska, and I'm sure he will attest. If you gave small business owners in Nebraska 1 megawatt, you got 5 jobs. Easy. Okay, that's 50 times the job impact without incurring any infrastructural changes, putting the same kind of impacts on the grid as energy conservation, and with biodiesel. We started the biodiesel plant in Scribner, Nebraska, 5 million gallon plant, employed 12 people, all 100% local ag producer owned, in a small local community, local contractors. Compare that to the 50 million gallon plant that was planned in Beatrice, foreign owned, used out of state oil to sell to foreign markets on ground they gave them with a foreign owner, and employ the same 12 people. So let's not just think big and look at the big picture. We got to remember the small opportunity that is just right in front of us and easy to do. So with that, thank you very much.